G'day, Dean. What's your thoughts on the game today and how you guys managed to get the W?
Yeah, probably not the first 2 minutes that I wanted tonight. I think we got stuck behind the three-point line shooting threes, and they executed their stuff pretty well. And then I've got CG and Delhi both looking at me that wanted a sub and had injuries, so wasn't quite the start we wanted. While we're talking about that, obviously we got Delhi to come back with a bit of an ankle sprain, and CG just had some tightness in the hamstring, and he got through that well. So we expect them both to be good for next week. What we were hoping from this game was to get, with Caleb out, was to challenge our depth at that position. And Dion Prewster, since coming back from national team duties, has really been great in practice, and so great reward from him to play close to 19 minutes and be really solid. And missing Delhi or Shea is one of the things that we needed to be able to test, and so we got to be able to test that today, and I thought Dion was fantastic. Part of that also with Caleb being out was we wanted more from Newley today, and I thought through the periods the game was we were down or really close. He did a great job of putting his feet in the paint, and then was really good shooting the three ball today as well. So great to see people step up, and then we obviously got the young guys into the game, and Zach Triplett showed, what he's going to be able to do in that league, and he's a super threat behind the three-point line. I thought he battled really hard defensively as well. So there's real positives about just increasing our depth a little bit more with the challenges that we had. Adelaide, a great rebounding team. I thought in the second half, we really got on top in that area, and highlighted by the second chance points and the offensive rebounds that we came up with. Delhi came back for that little period, hits 2 big threes to kind of really stretch the lead out, and we'd seen enough from them and were able to shut him down. But overall, good contributions from a lot of people today.
As much as Adelaide's not a playoff team like some of the ones you're going to face, was that a good test for that game where you lose a couple of guys in the first few minutes where dramas happen and you've got to call on blokes when they might not be expecting to be called upon? Yeah,
we were obviously prepared for it with the Caleb one, but putting CG and Delhi in the mix as well, and there was super tests for the group, and we were down pretty heavy that first quarter when that all happened in the first few minutes, and to get close to level at quarter time was a good result, and to be up 5 or 6 at the half, it was we started playing the defence that we wanted to play, and I thought we did that in the second half.
With Caleb, do you have a rough idea if he's back in time for the next game, or is that going to be a bit of a touch and go?
No, he should be out of protocols midweek, and right now, all reports is that he's feeling pretty good. His symptoms are pretty low, and we expect him to be available. Obviously, you see Withers tonight, and he only got out of protocols yesterday or today or something like that, and they only got 9 minutes out of him. We'd be hopeful that Caleb would be closer to 20 minutes returning for next week.
Brad, what was it like to get an opportunity to get a good blowout today, get some minutes, get a chance to just remind everyone what you and some of the other guys who got a bit further down the bench can do?
Yeah, Caleb can take his time coming back. It's all good. No. It was good fun. Dean kind of challenged us guys in the white squad at training to come in and be ready. And as Dean said before, with Dion coming in and the performance he did today, I was really proud of him. He's come back from his trip really well, and I spent a bit of time with Dean. I'm really happy for him to come out and bring it today. But yeah, we've always got to stay ready. I thought our group was pretty competitive during the week in practice, and it carried over to the match, and that's pretty good. So just staying ready. We got a great group of guys, and it was mentioned, when someone goes down, we've got to step up, and that's up to us. And it was just a good result today in our multicultural game, which was even more fun. The stories that we got to share during the week and hear from the other guys was it's good, and basketball brings us all together, and that's a great thing.
Dean, there's always a lot of talk about people shooting their shot, being confident in their shot and things, but you got on the guys a bit about their shots early on. Was that more selection? Was that timing of shots? What's the sort of, how do you go about sort of taking that up with the group?
Yeah, I don't think we've been ultra successful when we've lived on the three ball early on in games. Obviously, we want to try and get Chris, going and run some plays for him early. But I like when that happens after we get our feet in the paint. And I thought it just took that next group to go ahead and really attack. And if you can do that early in quarters and rack up the fouls a little bit and get a few cheap ones at the end of the quarter because of the work that you've done early and really challenge guys. I thought there's some guys on Adelaide that defensively you need to really attack and go at, and settling for 3-point shots wasn't the answer for that.
Go ahead, Nick. Oh, hi, Dean. Hi, Brad. Dean, I just wanted to touch on the depth side of things a little bit more as well. We spoke after the Tasmania game and you actually questioned the team's depth. It hasn't been tested that much since, but I imagine today gives you a bit more confidence moving forward. Yeah,
2 guys out with Caleb and Davo Hickey as well, and Callum Dalton. There's 3 guys that are sitting out of our roster right now, so that's brings opportunity and brings the challenge to see how, if in a situation later in the season, if we lost a point guard or we lost a shooting guard, or we had Joe-Acuil miss a game a few weeks back, and how do you cover that? So we've started to get through all the things that we're concerned about, and we've been able to handle those situations so far. So just got to make sure everybody's confident. And one of the things that we've missed. We normally run our own little summer league, and the guys that aren't playing enough minutes, we get them into more game reps and more game situations. And first week that we've been out of the protocols that we've been allowed to let guys play, and Dion got a run for his NBL1 team, and those little things just help the bench get the confidence to come in and do their job, and it showed up today.
Dave Barlow, he was suited up. Was he able to be used or not?
We really didn't want to play him at all today. We need to have 11 contracted players, and if there was an absolute emergency, he could have probably stepped on the floor. But he needs another really good week of practice to be ready to be ready for the Hawks.
So he's not. So you're expecting him to play against the Hawks?
Yeah, that's the intention.
Yeah, great. Nils, this is a bit of an observation, but it seems to me that you look a lot fitter this year than you did last year. You're getting up and down the floor a lot better. If that's the case, can you talk about what's behind that?
Yeah, pretty much once I signed with United, I spent a lot of time in Sydney with our old strength and conditioning coach, Nick Popovich. He's just taken a job overseas. Congratulations, Nick. And basically used lockdown in Sydney to train personally with him, to be ready to come in to play well for these guys. I think the challenge from Dean was, can you guard a 2, can you guard a 3? And I had to be ready to do that, and that meant dropping a bit of weight and getting a bit of my speed back. And that's probably kept me in the game, has been able to defend, and that's how we play here. So shout out to Nick, and also towards the end in Sydney too, I was working with Toby as well there as well. So yeah, just looking after my body and buying into the culture here has been fun, and just enjoying basketball again. I've mentioned that to the guys, and enjoying my time here.
Joining United, you've kind of found renewed love for the game.
I wouldn't say I was off the game, but just being around some friends like CG and I go back a few years, and same with Barlow and Delhi. Just being around, and also Dean, just being around guys that I know, and just you've grown up playing basketball with is fun, and it's almost like you're playing with your mates, not necessarily just guys who are here to do a job, and also getting to know some of the other guys. I'm enjoying hearing their stories and where they've come from. So just immersing myself in the team and the Melbourne culture. I'm enjoying Melbourne, and the Blues got up too, so that's an even better omen.
What was with Caleb out, what was the messaging from Dean ahead of tonight? I mean, obviously you had a really good game. What did Dean speak to you about beforehand?
Pretty simple. I can give it away. It was Caleb plays pretty high minutes. I think he plays around that 24, 25 minute mark. So The guys who were on the bench pretty much had to make that up. So we knew going. It was a little bit of a doozy when Delhi went down quick, and CG I normally don't get in till a bit later in the quarter, so I had to be ready a little bit earlier. But it was a credit to Dion and those fellas. Even I think Zach was the one who got thrown in there first, and he sat down and guarded Hannah's a couple of times, and it was just a good to see. And the message was put out there earlier in the week.
Has it been hard for you to sort of, I guess, manage your own expectations, given that there might be nights that you don't get a lot of minutes?
Yeah, I kind of knew coming in what my expectation was. It's anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes. It could be anything. And I guess my role is just to bring as much as I can with the energy on the defensive end and try and convert that into offense down the other end. That I don't feel a lot of pressure to do things out of this world that I might have done 10 years ago. But every now and then I have moments, and they're pretty cool. So I'm just enjoying playing ball again on a good team, and I want to keep it going.
And so they had your multicultural round. It seems like there's a bit of a buzz around the place this week. Can you speak a little bit to that about the significance of it and the build-up? Yeah,
I think Dean spoke to us a little bit pre-game and during the week and I've experienced it too. Like having played basketball overseas, basketball is a great vehicle to drive that kind of multiculturals and sharing stories where people come from, because at the end of the day basketball is kind of our language and what we're all here for. And you see little things that certain cultures can do better than the others, like the way they play or the way they eat, or little things. Just bringing that all together, and it's pretty an interesting team that we're on. I think we're like probably one of the rare NBL teams that doesn't have an American import. We're all from different parts of the globe, and it's funny hearing guys' stories about where they came from, and sometimes you're like, oh man, I've got really nothing to talk about here. But you try and I can contribute a little bit with the time I spent in Europe and these kind of things. But it's a lot of fun, and as I said, basketball is kind of the vehicle for our culture, and we're just glad we can bring that today and spread the word, I guess. And these jerseys look pretty nice too.
And Dean, the Hawks next Sunday, they're on a little bit of a tear, aren't they? And what are you expecting from that, and how do you prepare?
Yeah, Gorge put them on notice a couple of weeks back that every game was kind of, a final situation for them, and their teams responded. They've come out and I thought the defence they played in the second and third quarters, and even all right to the end of the game against the Jack Jumpers the other night, who are tough. They're a tough team, and to beat them in Tasmania is a really good win. And you have to be pretty relentless, and they showed up. So it's going to be we play them 2 times in a row on our home floor, and it's so important for both teams about where we're going to finish on the ladder. And we got total respect for them as a group, and absolutely look forward to the challenge.
Thanks, Vic. Go ahead, Adrian.
Yeah, Dean, just an extension of that. I mean, obviously, you just look at this next block of games, a couple against the Hawks, one against Phoenix, one against Perth. How challenging is it to kind of have this run in towards the finals?
Yeah, I think it's exactly what you want. You want to play good teams. You wouldn't want to go into into finals, and again, you're going to have to get, what do we got, 15 wins. You're going to have to get 17, 18 wins just to get into the final. So we got a ways to go just to absolutely get there. But the goal for us is every year is to try and get home court advantage, and that's what we're striving for. So I thought we learned a lot from the Southeast game and the Perth game about the things that we do well and the things we need to get better at. And same thing with this Hawks team, a team that can really put a switching group on the floor, and how do you create advantages against them, and what pace is the best to play at against them. There's so many things that go into this one, and we'll see the adjustments playing one game and then playing them again the next week, and so that's what finals basketball is about as well. So unbelievable preparation for us.
And with Perth having this big block of home games to come there, how difficult is it going to be to try and stay one step ahead all the time there?
We just played a road game against Southeast, so and then we've got a trip to Perth. So we've still got some games that are away games for us, but obviously we've got these away games that are in Victoria, having the two teams in town, which is a luxury to have, and we enjoy that rivalry. But yeah, just can't wait to get to practice in a day or so. It's been fun. Our soccer games have got better. There's a real good buzz around. The footy season's come around. That we're doing some different things, a little bit looser with our protocols, and we're starting to just live a little bit better. So, enjoying life and basketball right now.
Who's the star of the soccer games?
Not me. Ariel.
Ariel Huckporty is pretty talented.
Pretty good on his toes.
With the ball. So
Dion's good.
Dion's picked it up.
From the white squad, Dion, Ariel, Horse in defence on the goalkeeper.
Very good goalkeeper.
I've been removed from striker after my 3 horrible attempts last week.
Davo Hickey's very
good. Delhi comes through. He's strong. Joe's very good. Joe can play. But,
CG sneaks a couple.
CG's a sneak, of course. He's a striker. Don't want to play down the other end. No. It's fun. He pings them, but no, it's good fun, and it just gets us talking before practice, so we enjoy it.